Almost 3,000 years ago, the Greeks stood out as unique people. Greek cities housed wise sages and thinkers, people who invented such concepts as democracy, and there were a great number of strong athletic soldiers. The various Greek city-states were famous for battling to prove strength and superiority over neighboring states. One day, the men of Olympia decided to prepare a competition in which there would be winners and losers, but no weaponry. They announced to everyone that there would be a competitive race at the Temple of Zeus, the most important Greek god. The fastest runners from each city-state were to compete in a 210-yard race. This would identify the fastest man in the whole empire. Men from all over Greece fled to Olympia for the event. The best athletes lined up in front of 40,000 spectators. When the start signal was given, the crowd roared endlessly. Coroebus of Elis, a humble Greek baker, was the fastest and won a laurel wreath as the prize. He was famous for his speed, and everyone considered him a great hero. The race was so popular amongst the public that they decided to hold it again in 4 years. Each city-state selected its strongest man who trained to participate and be the best. More spectators and followers came every year. It became an event that no one wanted to miss. The Olympics became so popular that the organizers added more events and expanded the games so they would last several days. Before the start of the Olympics, Greece declared peace in all its states so that the athletes could travel safely to Olympia without risk of being attacked.
Hoo-hoo-hoo!
In order to qualify, participants had to be Greek, male, and must have undergone specific training. At age 12, all males received mental and physical training in the arena. At 20, they received weapons and had to decide whether to go to war or to the Olympics.
Oh!
Athletes selected to compete in the Games would first undergo mandatory training in their cities. During the final year before the competition, they would travel to Elis, 31 miles from Olympia, to finish training and preparation. Warfare ceased during the Games, and Greek society became completely focused on the events. It was an excellent opportunity for leaders of warring Greek city-states to interact and form friendships.
Hi!
The Games opened with trumpet and heraldry competitions in which participants played their best songs and others displayed decorated insignias or coats of arms. The athletic events began on day 2. The shorter stadion foot races were held in the stadium, while the Dalakos was approximately 1 to 3 miles. The Hoplotrotamus, or hoplite race, required runners to race dressed in armor. If a runner were to false start, judges took him aside and whipped him in front of spectators as if he were a slave. Afterwards, he was sent to the exit line, so it was clear he should never again make such a mistake. They created different events inspired by the movements men continually made during battle, such as launching rocks and spears at enemies. These events were discus throwing, the long jump, and javelin throwing. They also introduced one-on-one combat sports to simulate battle in the open fields, such as pancration, the roughest sport that people most like to watch. Pugilism was a fist-fighting event that inspired modern-day boxing. Horses held a very important role in Greece. Enormous horsemen, who had proven mastery of horses during battle, competed in chariot races in which the charioteers led 2 or 4 unbridled horses to victory. The Pentathlon was the last and most celebrated competition of the Games and consisted of 5 contests for the participants: stadion race, wrestling, long jump, javelin, and discus throw. The winner was the Olympic champion, and a statue was erected in his honor at the Temple of Zeus. The most popular day for spectators was the final day and closing ceremonies, where winners received prizes to honor their strength and glory: an apple and a laurel wreath. Those who won a prize became idolized by their towns and were venerated like gods. The Olympic Games were so successful and famous that they were celebrated every 4 years for over a millennium. In 393 AD, however, when the Romans invaded Greece, they outlawed the Olympic Games, intending to eliminate them from the face of the earth. "1,500 years later, at the end of the 19th century, a Frenchman named Pierre de Coubertin had the idea to restore the ancient Olympic Games. The new games would be international and would involve many sports. Athens, the capital of Greece, would hold the first modern Olympic Games. Since that time, the best athletes on the planet make plans every 4 years to compete and show that they are the best in the world. They are a proud example of brother and sisterhood among all countries of the world.